Pugh. That'll do it! That will do it! Pugh for Bournemouth! The roof of the Gold Sands is raised! Everyone here knows what that could mean to this football.
Hello, Cherries fans. Hope you're doing well. I'm not, because we're not playing football tomorrow. I would say happy Monday, but it feels far from it. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
And I'm Tigz. How you doing?
Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for joining us on this football-free night. We were always looking forward to talking about the next team we play, and it would have been Swansea, apart from the news that we all dreaded to hear, Tom, but at least we heard in a timely manner this time, eh?
Yeah, it was nice that we hadn't already set off like the unfortunate Forest fans at the weekend, but I didn't see it coming. Obviously, needs must and all that, but yeah, I didn't expect it. But nice to know, like you say, well in advance. But 2 games on a bounce to be called off. I'm just keep my fingers crossed for Saturday, mate, because yeah, we need some football, don't we?
We do. I mean, we've had 30 hours warning. That's like 31 hours warning for this one, whereas the other one only 3 hours. You must have felt sorry for the Nottingham Forest fans and indeed our own fans, Tigz, that had already started to travel.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, it does seem awfully strange. However, we have to go with the facts that have been presented to us on why the situation happened. And if the stadium's not safe, the stadium's not safe. If you can't get someone in to fix it in time, if you can't move the fixture in time, then fair enough, I suppose. It does seem that there was a delay, and it's working out where that delay was, because it does seem that the different parties wanted the information to be out there, but others said, no, you can't do that because there's a chance that the game might go ahead. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm sure in due time there'll be more perspectives on this, and I know that the Nottingham Forest fans have their own perspective on it, on what was leaked in their press. So, yeah, very different outlooks on why it happened. But from what we've been told, the football club wanted us to be aware that the game probably wasn't going to go ahead. But the EFL said that you can't do that until we've given the final word. They gave the final word. Then by the time we got the comms out on that, it was too late.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, I felt very frustrated on that day that the Nottingham Forest match was going to be played, because they said, we'll tell you as soon as we can on Friday. And you're thinking, okay, the peak of the storm was between like 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. or something. So maybe around 1 o'clock would have been okay. But then at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and it was only some unofficial tweets that went out sort of 20 to 4. And then the club confirmed at 1 minute past 4. And at that stage, you're thinking to yourself, well, you know, we don't know who's to blame for the lack of communication, but we just need something. Yeah. We just need to be told, you know, unfortunately, there is an issue. We're looking into it, and we won't find out for a while. But it seems to be, from an article on the bastion of journalistic integrity, The Sun today, you know, it came out with a story that makes us look a lot better. Yeah. So, you know what? I'm all for The Sun after that. But they did say that it was the EFL that basically put the kibosh on AFC Bournemouth wanting to communicate with the supporters, which is it's not great, is it?
No, and saying to Tigz off air, I do feel like when Sky's involved, when it's a Sky game, I think that probably caused a few more problems as well, and issues about communication. I think it would have gone very differently if it wasn't on the telly, personally. But yeah, we're not sure. They're all different stories. But at the end of the day, if it wasn't safe to play, we can't play it, can we? And I know Forrest said about our injury stuff. We wanted to play the game. Of course we did. We needed to play the game. We don't actually have anywhere near as many injuries as we did last time we played them and beat them. So, yeah, I'm sure we wanted it to go ahead. But it was a shame. I was getting ready to go down the club bar. I was nearly ready to go down. So I think I better head down now, but I was just hanging on. So, yeah, it was frustrating. And I hope all the Forest fans got back all right, because that must be frustrating. That's my only solace for tomorrow, is that I know that it's already off. I'd hate to be on my way. So.
It's, you know, you were saying on a WhatsApp earlier, you just felt a bit empty after this match being called off. I mean, myself and Tom, we've been fortunate to have been fed with some football, albeit not great conditions at the weekend, watching the under-18s get total triumph. We'll talk more about that later, I'm sure. But then watching Brett Pittman play a few minutes for Eastleigh you know, that was raining as well, but at least we had some cover. So we've been able to have some football, but you know, it's been a while now.
It's been a long while for me. I've got to admit. I think Boreham Wood was the last game that I went to, and so I was really looking forward to a triple header for me.
Yeah.
So I was looking forward to the game against Forest, then over to Swansea, then Stoke. I was really excited about it, and now 2 out of 3 down, and there is a rumbling in the water. And we need 5 days to fix the problems with the stadium, and we haven't been able to get a cherry picker there yet to be able to do it because of the high winds. How many days we got until the Stoke game now?
Exactly. We're hopeful that it looks like it's going to calm the weather, doesn't it, from now until Saturday. So I'm hoping there's enough time. So staying hopeful on that one. But surely we ain't going to get another one off, mate. Surely not.
Bloody hope not.
Yeah, no, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
If not, then Weymouth's a lovely ground.
Yeah. Let's pop down there. Look, really appreciate everyone who's joined us today. If you want to take part, the link is afcbpodcast.com/take part. It is a free for all today. We'll get fans on throughout the show. But yeah, as you heard, the fixture in the Sky Bet Championship was called off because Swansea have got similar problems to us with Storm Eunice, and club staff have been in communication with AFC Bournemouth and the EFL over the weekend since the damage became visible, and the rearranged fixture will be announced at a certain point soon. But when you look at the fixtures that we've got, we put this on a tweet earlier on, mate, and it's a worry because we've got so many fixtures. Look, there's the international break in there, which is what? Between Saturday, let's call it Sunday, the 20th of March, up until the 1st of April. That's a 13 day break. So we've got 16 games to play in 71 days, less the international break. That's 16 games in 58 days. And 2 of them there, we still don't know when we're going to play them. It's hell-like, mate.
It's definitely getting towards Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday territory, isn't it? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do there. I mean, thank God we didn't beat Bournemouth, because that would have caused more congestion. So yeah, and I think Huddersfield have got Forest in the next round of the Cup. So, we've got to play both of them yet. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. But the international break's the killer, isn't it? That's just, you just lose 13 days where you can't do anything. We can't, I mean, I know there'll be some people that think, can we just play them? But I don't think realistically we could. We'd lose too many players. I don't think it would. The integrity of the league would be in question then if we lose Mark Travers, Jefferson Lerma, Ryan Christie, Jordan Zamora. I mean, it wouldn't be fair, I don't think. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. A lot of games to get in, but at least lots of football, mate. And we've got the squad. If anyone in this league needed all them games to be played, Bournemouth's got the squad for it. So I think we're the only team in the league to have already played 30 games, aren't we?
Yeah.
Lots of games to go. But you never know. You win a few. That's good momentum. Keeping on from there. But yeah, it's going to do a lot on the legs, isn't it?
A lot on the legs. And what's really interesting about that, you've got Easter in there. So you've already got a Friday, Monday over Easter. So that is quite a lot to kind of take into account. How we squeeze them all in, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, as Tom says, we've got the squad for it, but does a rotated squad do well?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I prefer the Woodgate way, I think.
Very interesting. So look, we're going to get some fans on throughout this, but let's just say hello to the people that are already here today. And we've got Chris Hubble, who's saying, good evening all, good evening, Chris. RWC's here, confirming what we all know. Our schedule's going to be so full in March and April. Do you say schedule or schedule, Tigz?
Schedule.
I'm scheduled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm scheduled.
Well, Rob Wells is here. UTC IAD. Also, Mark Singleton. Evening, Cherries fans. Paul Spicer's here. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Who else we've got? We got Robert Thompson, saying also from Sydney. Hiya. Hello, mate. Chris Edwards here. Get rest now, players, because it's going to be crazy from here on in. Marky Masters. Whoa, different cameras. Marky, that's for you, buddy.
Spots it.
Also, we got David Airley there as well, saying, good evening, chaps. Chris Edwards, multi-camera angles going up. Look, this is down to your support, so thanks so much for this. Steve's here as well. Steve, hope you're doing well, mate. We've got Mark, we've got Carmen, Matty Fitzgerald as well, and Heather is worrying about the Stoke game. We are all hoping it goes ahead. I mean, it was a bit blowy today, I've got to say.
Yeah, it was a little bit, wasn't it? It was a bit blowy. But like I said, I expect a big win today. It looks like it's going to get nicer and nicer. Just ready for the Stoke game. I don't want to be. I know it's probably a little bit in the past. I don't want to be stuck. I don't want to be playing Stoke in the wind. You know what I mean? That's got to give him an advantage, isn't it? God, yeah. But
Tony Pulis licking his lips.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first time I thought if we're playing tomorrow night or if we were going to play on Saturday, I thought it's the first time I'll probably take Pulis back with them conditions. You know what I mean? Just get that ball in the box. And Steve Bruce could even win in them conditions. So that was a surprise. But yeah, I'm confident for the weekend, mate. It'll be fine. It'll be on.
Let's see how Daniel from Florida feels. He is with us. Daniel, how you doing, buddy? You doing all right?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, mate. How are you coping without no AFC Bournemouth? It must be horrible, mate.
Yeah, it's awful. It's like it's a pain because honestly, when they announced they postponed the match, I was really upset because what are you supposed to do when your team doesn't play? You know, it's just awful.
Yeah, it's not particularly great. And look, we're in a sequence of matches at the moment, mate, where we've got some like really winnable games, and it would be quite nice to have those all together because it would breed some confidence ahead of look, we all know that April's a horrible month and we need to get the results in the bag now, don't we?
Yeah, I feel like March is definitely going to be a big month for us because just in case like we don't do something good on April, we still have all those points from March that can help us for the table. So March is very important for us.
Yeah, no, I think he's right. We need to get the points on the board, don't we, before that, what looks like a horrible run in. But Daniel, let's be positive. Let's assume the game's going ahead on Saturday. Are you confident? Because I think Stoke are a side that are coming a little bit quite quietly. They're probably not going to make the playoffs or anything, but they're a strong side, Stoke, and I think that's a potential banana skin. So are you confident if the game goes ahead that we can get the job done against Stoke, mate?
I honestly think we should because the game is getting postponed. There's no excuses. There's probably going to be more training happening, so that's a plus. And more players are coming back. I think they said that Ethan Lair was coming back, so maybe you'd be on the bench. We can see, and I think we have a big chance because we have no excuses now because of the 2 games being postponed.
Brilliant, Daniel. Now, Daniel, I'm your biggest fan, not as big as the fan in the background there. I just want to know, I just want to get that joke in. I just want to know, is it odd for you watching the games from there and thinking, why are they calling the game off? Because obviously some of the weather conditions you get in Florida, I mean, they'd blow our whole stadium away, wouldn't they?
It's like kind of weird because even though I live in the United States, most of the time I'm just on the UK news because I'm always like on Twitter, football, so it's not really that. I knew the storm was happening like the day before the game, and I was kind of upset when they canceled the game, even though the storm was going on, because I really wanted to watch it.
Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. Did you feel confident that we were going to get a result against Nottingham Forest?
Yes, because honestly, I don't know. Nottingham Forest fans think we're afraid for some reason, and that's just what are we afraid about? Honestly, we destroyed your team with basically our youngsters. So what is there to be afraid about? There's only one man I'm afraid about in that squad, and that's Cook. But still, Solanke could make him go to retirement if he wanted to. So,
oh, love it! Look at this fighting talk. And you know, Swansea. I think most Bournemouth fans felt confident, but I don't know about you, Daniel. I've noticed a pattern when the other sides drop points. Bournemouth don't sort of tend to take full advantage. We always just hang in there, and when we lose, they lose. When they lose, we lose. It was so important that we needed to get 3 points against Swansea. I think we would have. So can we follow it up? Well, you know, can we put in a good performance against Stoke City? Because Stoke City, they're a difficult side to play against, aren't they?
Yeah, the thing with Stoke, their form is kind of weird because they win and then they lose and then they win and lose. But I feel like because we didn't play for now 2 games, I feel like we'll have more training, but still be tough. I feel like we won't lose it because if we lose it, then that's embarrassing. We had 2 games off. Should have been training all that time, but I feel like we have a better chance of winning it because everyone should be fit. More players should be coming in, and I think we'll be good for Stoke.
Excellent. Daniel, really appreciate you coming on, buddy. What's the time of day where you are, mate?
It is 3:15.
3:15. What time do you finish school?
There was no school today. It's a holiday.
Oh, is it half term?
Come on, Sam.
Oh, what, is it the same for everyone all over the world then, or what? I thought, I don't know. I thought it might be different. Anyway, Daniel, thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it, mate.
Thank you. Bye.
Up the Cherries. See you later. Thanks very much. And look, he was confident about getting a result against Forest, against Swansea, against Stoke, and we have got some sort of winnable games in March. And you know, these are the ones. Just as I said earlier, it's important we build up a head of steam now, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought that, you mentioned it then. I think that it was a good time to play Swans. They just got absolutely spanked, didn't they? Sheffield United 4-0. And I couldn't believe when I saw that they were 17th. I thought, Swans would be knocking on the door. I don't think it doesn't seem like it's worked with Russell Martin, does it? Since he's gone there. But yeah, I thought it was a good time to play, and they just had a real beating. I mean, their fans, maybe tongue in cheek, but kind of like, thank God we ain't got to play a fully fresh Bournemouth side on the back of that. So I was quietly confident, but Swansea away, I think, is always a difficult place to go. But I was confident we get the job done. They would have been a bit fragile after that defeat. I mean, that's not just defeat. To go and lose 4-0, they're obviously not bringing with confidence at the moment. So you never know. That's what happens in this league. Suddenly, then we might play Swansea in the rearranged game, and they might have won 3 on the bounce. So it's I think it was a good time to play them. So I was gutted that one was off.
Shall we remind ourselves of that 4-0 win against Swansea? Because it was special. We were doing hospitality that day, mate.
Of course. Oh, I love that day.
It was beautiful. Yeah. And look, 4 goals to the good. Probably one of our best performances this season, would you say?
Yeah, up there with Bristol.
Yeah. Probably at home, maybe. I'd probably say
probably
that's our best
home.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Probably would.
Well, me and Tom certainly enjoyed it. I'm sure you will too after watching this.
Come on! This is what we need! Mate, I think it's time for me to go off and do the free-for-all, isn't it?
You crack on, man. I've got champagne to finish off.
Yeah. You enjoy. I'm off.
This is what we should.
I don't know about you, but my favourite bit of that is where Tom's orchestrating the Swansea fans.
I had a bit of champagne that day, all right?
Yeah.
But that's making me miss football more.
I know.
And Jane Antley's family at the end. That was a great one. That was a really good day. Really good day.
So we were playing Swansea, and the position where we were sat, because we were having hospitality, we were directly below Neil Blake's box. And look, we saw what Neil Blake said in the article today on the AFCB.co.uk website. And almost a little dig there.
Oh,
Almost a little dig. So
definitely a dig.
he said the following. He said, whilst it is disappointing that another one of our fixtures had to be postponed following the effects of Storm Eunice, we completely understand Swansea's decision, and I'd like to thank them for prioritising the safety of players, supporters and staff. Here we go. Like us, Swansea have suffered too much damage to their stadium to make it safe for supporters in a short space of time. 5 days, as opposed to the 24 hours it's been suggested we could have made our stadium safe within. And then he says about Swansea have come to a sensible decision and we've given them our full support as to allow an early announcement on the postponement. We look forward to visiting them for the rearranged fixture. I like the way he did that, Tigz.
Yeah, and I mean, we've come into a lot of criticism of the football club had about the way that we handled it. I suppose really the thing that kind of makes me think about that and makes us think about the way that we did sort of deal with the situation is if Bob the Builder comes round and Bob the Builder says this game's not going to go ahead, that's the frustration. It's like if we knew that early that there's a good chance, but it took that long for a decision to be made. That is the big frustration. So yeah, really glad I'm not. Well, actually, do you know what? I probably would have enjoyed the little road trip with you boys. Even if we get to turn around. Yeah. There we go.
Let's see what Aaron Kay's got to say in a sec. But firstly, let's just see some of the comments that we get. I can't help but chuckle. Nice windows, said Robert. Yeah, great windows. Got to say, Simon Kay's here as well. Hello, boys. Keep it up. I was really looking forward to a trip to Wales tomorrow as well. Yeah, superb. At least we won't have to worry about playoff games, said Steve. We've got Layla here. Find someone who looks at you the way that Tigz looks in horror, Sam. Do you? If I could do what Marky Masters did and put a little heart in between us, then yeah.
He is the heart. I'm the heart in this
one.
one.
Yeah. Okay. You're the glue. We've got Josh. Yeah, here we go. Hi all. Gutted about Swansea. What else have we've got? Camera and beer upgrade by the looks of it. Yeah, no.
Even I'm on Guinness.
Yeah, you're on Guinness. I'm on
the
Hazy Jane, which is a brew dog. Having a big squad is finally going to pay off. Carol Toller's here. Carol, hope you're doing okay. We've got Jack here. We've got Terry as well. And also, we've got a message saying we probably won't be able to fit in the Forest and Swansea games till after Easter in late April when there's two free midweek slots.
Probably right.
Is the gap after the Stoke game too little? Because they're playing on the Friday as well, Forest, aren't they?
Yeah, that's what we saw, wasn't it? So, yeah, it feels like that would be too hard to squeeze in. So you might be right there, that comment. I think it might be. I think them two will be. I think people are looking at kind of, could we get them in the next few weeks? I think them two games are going to be right near the end now.
Yeah.
I think they could well be like that, kind of two back-to-back midweekers, I think. We're not going to have many Tuesday, Wednesdays free for the rest of the season. Definitely not.
No way.
There'll be a lot of midweek fixtures under the lights, though. Always like that.
Always like that.
We need to look at what our record's like midweek. So I can't work out if we've been any better or worse midweek. I can't off the top of my head, but I want to look into it.
Where's John Spark when you need him? I'm sure he's got that stats somewhere.
Yeah, little stats.
Here's Aaron Kay, who's with us though. Aaron, how you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good chaps. How are you all?
Glad to see you're doing all right, because we felt like really empty earlier when we heard the news, because we were really looking forward to this one. And you know, like even if we weren't attending, even watching it on TV, just like a dose of AFC Bournemouth, watching the under-18s was great, but you know, it doesn't really fill that void. And there's been a void of games now, isn't there? And it's not very sort of good, because you just want the continuity, don't you?
Yeah, I definitely didn't see this one coming today. Obviously we had no rumours of damage at Swansea, but obviously I think we all thought that Friday was unlikely to happen. But yeah, I didn't see this one at all today. So, I was looking forward to tomorrow after a bit of a break at the weekend. So yeah, it's another week without football, watching the other teams wrap the games up. I mean, I was trying to think of some positives earlier, and because we've got no choice really, have we? I was thinking that, regardless of results this week, we'll still be second, regardless, with an extra game in hand. So, that's a positive. So it's not like we can come out of second place. I guess the other obvious positives are that it's likely that Ryan Christie will be available for the rearranged games. Laird and Smith, I imagine, will be, and by the sounds of it, even Kiefer Moore probably by the way these two games are played. Plus, it also gives the new players more integrated time on the training field. So, and I think historically, I've always thought this anyway. I always think Bournemouth play better in better weather. So, So maybe it's not all bad. But no, I was also thinking as well for Jeff Lerma, because obviously it keeps going on. He's not going to play for that 6-7 weeks by the time this happens. By the time, because his last game was Birmingham, obviously, and that was February the 9th, which is an age ago. And then he might not be playing till late March at this rate. So yeah, keeping him match fit is going to be difficult. But yeah, look, it is what it is. It's disappointing now, but as Tom said earlier, we'll have a load of games to go to. I mean, a lot of people have said it would be Tuesdays, Thursdays. I don't. Hopefully that won't happen. I still, obviously it would be Saturday, Tuesday, or Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. But I don't think with those 2 free weekends in April, even if it's in between the Blackburn and Millwall games, it will still be a midweek. So I doubt we'll have 2 games to play unless anything else is called off. And I guess I'm right in thinking is next Tuesday too soon, even for Forest or Swansea, the 1st of March, because obviously 8th and 15th we got games.
Yeah.
That is the 1st, or even the 22nd of March before the international break.
But they're playing on the Monday. Swansea are playing on the Monday
Yeah.
I think against West Brom, and Forest are in action also live on Sky. I don't know who they're playing, but they're playing on the Friday. So either way, it's a 2-game sort of gap for one of them. If you're doing it on a Wednesday, obviously you can't do Tuesday. Forest probably wouldn't want that. So yeah, it's very difficult. It's going to be later on, I think.
Yeah, that's the problem we've got, and it's I think it will probably be a lot later in the season. I mean, I said, Aaron, maybe it was a ploy to lose to Boreham Wood. You know what I mean? Because that would have been a nightmare if we had got through that one. But
then I also just saw that if Huddersfield beat Forest, then that game's off as well. So then we are really struggling. And if this Saturday is off, then we got a massive problem.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering then, I don't know how it would work, but because we're due to play Huddersfield when it's Cup weekend, if they were to knock out Forest, could we then just play Forest? Do you know what I mean? Because
that would make sense.
That would make the most sense, wouldn't it? We're due to play Huddersfield, but they've knocked Forest out, so we'll just play Forest.
Yeah,
I don't know how it works.
Contractually, are you Sky still obliged to or show the game, or I don't know how that works either. I mean, we entered an agreement with them for the game to be shown on Sky. I'm guessing that's null and void. Just throw it out,
Maybe. No, it's well. Me and past 2 hours, me and Tigz brought up a good point. We were talking about it before we come back on, and you plan for the opposition, don't you? Training, things like that. You plan for the opposition. We was talking about how the 2 fixtures that have been postponed were against 2 teams that play through at the back, and we've probably been looking into that and whether we would have thought about maybe matching them up, or just in general thinking about the fact that they play that system. That must be difficult for the players on the training pitch. You're working to a certain plan, and then suddenly, I know you ain't got them now. Yeah. Now our next game's this. Do you reckon that will cause problems, or do you think it's a good thing that we can get more time on the training pitch ahead of Stoke, or do you think it's just confusion because you're potentially now playing against a back 4?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought of that. That's a very good point. I mean, I think any time on the training pitch, any manager will tell you it's good for the team, especially with new players to integrate. And work on plenty of things as well. Plus, I mean, you could look at it as a bit of a winter break for us, so we should certainly be refreshed. And with the big squad we've got, we should be able to cope with those games. But yeah, I'm sure there is an element of that, because we would have set up for Forest slightly differently to Swansea, 2 different beasts, if you like. So yeah, that kind of goes out the window, and then we're straight on to Stoke. So, but I guess players ultimately, you work on certain things, and some of it will be consistent for all matches, I guess.
Yeah. It's just Tigz did bring it up. Let's make sure we know it was Tigz's point.
But
it was a good point.
It was a conversation we were having, and the other thing about it is this, right? So let's say you're playing against Forest, and you're thinking to yourself, okay, who am I going to play? Right, Stacey, you're in. So we're going to work with you all week, and then you get the Swansea, and you go, oh, do you know what, Laird, you're coming in. That must be a really weird thing to have to deal with as a player, isn't it? Imagine if you were going to play, and then now you're not going to play, and now someone's coming ahead of you.
But I think it's a case of he might have said, we're going to start Dembele on the right and Anthony on the left, and then if Christie's now available for Stoke, hopefully then it'll be like, sorry, Jaden, you're going to be out of the team. But that's horses for courses. I think with the amount of games, as you pointed out, that we've got coming up, they're all going to be playing. They're all going to get game time. They're all capable of it. So I guess it's just the way it is. But I really hope Saturday's on, because I think from the club's point of view, from Neil Blake's point of view, from Scott Parker's point of view, they have to pull out all the stops, because they know, it's going to cause more of a problem fixture wise. So there is hopefully a number of days. I mean, I don't know if you have heard anything, but I mean, I would be very surprised if they can't get it fixed in the space of time.
Yeah, I thought so. We've got quite a few days now. Like I say, as long as the weather doesn't cause any issues, I think it looks like the weather's going to get better. It's still, I mean, it's only Monday night. You know, we haven't got a game tomorrow now. I'll be surprised. That's a lot of time before Saturday. I'd like to think, as long as the weather doesn't do we've got Franklin at the moment. We had Eunice, and now Franklin's coming. But I don't think Franklin's quite as harsh. Franklin seems a little bit more chilled. So yeah, I'm hoping we'll be all right. Like I say, I think we'll be fine for Saturday. And I mean, the only good, I'm trying to think of, like Aaron was at the start, trying to think of like any sort of positives. I'm just thinking everyone will be missing football so much. We'll get it rocking in there. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's going to be a big game, but I'm still confident it's going ahead, mate.
There's a couple of games tomorrow that could be of interest. Middlesbrough versus West Brom, but Preston against Nottingham Forest. I presume those two you'll have your eye on tomorrow, will you, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, I was really happy Middlesbrough lost at the weekend because they're beginning to worry me a bit. And West Brom, again, just have flattered to deceive all season, and Steve Bruce haven't even got a goal yet. So possibly a draw in that, or even West Brom to get something, because I'll just keep Middlesbrough down there. And yeah, it'd be great if Forest lose, but I think that the next day is a big game. It's Sheffield United Blackburn, and I'm really in two minds about that because, well, Blackburn are a bit of a downer. Sheffield United are really worrying me now. I predicted they're getting the top six. They are now already in the top six. So although Blackburn are higher, I don't know if it's such a bad thing if Sheffield United lose that. Obviously, probably a draw is probably the best result for us. And I guess whoever loses, that's also good for us. But yeah, Sheffield United are really worrying me now because I think they've got a lot of momentum behind them, and they are a good squad. No, they've started the season badly, but that's one I'll be looking out for. And QPR, I think they're at home to Blackpool. Yeah. So it'd be nice if Josh Boulder does us a favour there again. But yeah, QPR. Look, I've got a very good friend who supports QPR, and he's gone to a lot of the games. They haven't won in 4. He says they're in a bit of a rut, and he was saying to me, look, don't worry, we got no chance of automatic. He's just worried about staying in the playoffs now from QPR's point of view. So yeah, but as I said to you at the beginning, that if all the results go badly for us, we're still second with an extra game in hand. So we won't even need to win all the games in hand. But so yeah, but obviously keep an eye on all the games. Yeah.
Aaron, appreciate you coming on. Thanks very much, mate. And fingers crossed, we'll all have a game to watch on Saturday, eh?
Yeah, hopefully I'll see you all on Saturday.
Up the Cherries. See you later, Aaron. Thanks very much.
Bye.
That's Aaron Kay. And what he did was go to afcbpodcast.com/take part. And that's where you can take part by coming on screen. A person that we were going to have on the stream tonight was a Swansea fan called Steve Baker that was hooked up to us by a certain Marky Masters. And when you need energy, Marky Masters is that man. And he's here today. Marky, how are you, fella?
Come on.
I'm good, albeit, let me tell you this story. You ready for a little story?
We're ready.
We're ready for story time. Let's tuck in.
Strapping myself in. Here we go.
So I had a cataracts. So those who don't know, I've been losing my sight in my right eye, right? Okay. So only now. So last Monday I had an operation in my right eye. So I've lost my vision. I'm a 47-year-old man who's been going blind. Quick operation. Eyesight in that eye is perfect. My other eye, I can't see. So if I'm looking at my screen, I'm like that.
Oh man!
I'm not doing it in a. I'm doing it. I'm doing it in a way that I can get vision because I'm all blurry still. Question though, following on from Aaron, you ready for this?
Loving it.
I'll ask you all a question. We were just talking about other games that are coming up and keeping an eye on who else is out there. Can I ask you, and also everybody in the chat, who are going to be the teams in the playoffs? Who are the 4 teams? Who are going to be in the top 6? Can I ask you all?
Well, let's take a look at the league table. Look, Mark, it's almost like you've got the script, Mark. Honestly,
I've got to do this.
Oh yeah, you can't do it, mate. Can I zoom in for you there? I might have to. I tell you what, mate. I'll talk you through it.
I know. Listen, I know the blimmin' league. I'm not some bloke that just looks out for Bournemouth scores and puts my chair away. I'm into all this.
You are. So look, Blackburn are in 3rd at the moment, QPR 4th, Huddersfield 5th, Sheffield United. It's almost like their form, Tom, has replaced West Brom's because West Brom's have dropped off a cliff, whereas United have picked up on it. 1 point behind Sheffield United. Got Middlesbrough, Luton are up there. Forest as well, who I think we're all expecting to have a late push. But look, I'll put that one to Tom because he's the man that at the start of the season, when we did our tier list of where you think teams will come, much to the derision of many, you put Forest up there in kind of pushing, didn't you?
Yeah, I felt weirdly, just to give myself a bit of stick, I actually thought Chris Hughton was a good man, so I thought he'd do all right. I thought he'd be the right man for him, but haven't worked out that way. But they've got a good squad, Forest. But I think if I had to put money on one team to definitely be in them playoffs, no higher, no less, I'd probably go Sheffield United. I think they've left it too late to get top 2, but I think they're too good to not make the top 6 now. So I think Sheffield United are definitely one. I do expect Forest, QPR, and then Blackburn have probably got the points on the board. Maybe then Borough are coming. I think it's. I mean, it ain't going to be us and Fulham though. Now that's what I'm confident of. But yeah, I don't know what you think, Tigz. I think Sheffield United are definitely going to be in there though.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. I think Blackburn definitely as well. I think you're right about us and Fulham. I think it will take a pretty poor showing between now and the end of the season for us to mess it up from here, looking at the way things are. But you never know. It's definitely going to be hairy. Huddersfield still in with a shout for me.
True.
QPR are the one that I can see maybe tippling down. Who knows though? A late spin from Luton.
Yeah, to be fair, they were good at their place against us.
Yeah.
One seems to come, don't they? So if
there is always one that.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's Luton. That's a good shout. I forget about Huddersfield. They're still hanging around there. I forget about that. If one of the teams in there at the moment is to drop, it could be QPR.
Yeah.
I just don't think, for some reason, they've fallen off a cliff a little bit.
I mean, what was it against Hull they played last, was it?
Yeah, and they lost to Barnsley before that.
That's not great.
Yeah, and I just look at them and think, have they got a man that's banging in enough goals? I think Lyndon Dykes is a decent striker, but he's not a goal scorer. Charlie Austin, you can't rely on him really. Fitness. So, yeah, if someone's going to miss out from the ones that are in there at the moment, I think it's going to be QPR. But as long as we don't drop into it, I'm happy.
But, Marky, the standard doesn't seem to be that great. It's almost like we're getting a free pass at times. How are we in the top 2? Because we've been okay, and then we were good for a bit, but we haven't had to be exceptional to be where we are, really.
It's bonkers, isn't it? I mean, look at last season. You had Norwich that were light years ahead of everybody, and what we saw last season. And yeah, listen, we're very fortunate, aren't we? I know we seem to be on air every fortnight, everyone having a gripe and a moan, but where we are now with games being postponed, we're in a place where we're having a bit of headroom between us and the teams in third. And I always think about it, maybe you guys do as well. I always think about this team, if this team then went up compared to where we all were 5-6 years ago. And I always think now about, imagine this team went to the Premier League. And I keep on thinking about it now, about how we would manage with the resources that we have and the squad that we have, because we didn't go bonkers when we went up the first season we went up. And I don't know, it's just a weird one because obviously form all over the place. You guys see it more than everybody else. It's so topsy-turvy, but we're still hanging in there. It's a poor league, but it's a brilliant league. And who knows what is thrown up? At least we don't have Paul Ince as manager. And that's the beauty of this league. Guys, and I've said it, I'm one of those people that said, I'll take the money. This is the league. I'm not bothered about the Premier League. We go to watch the team, with the rubbish that we saw in the FA Cup, but we go to the team that we support. I'm happy here. I'm happy. It's not that my cup is half full. I love the championship. We just do not know what it throws up.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
It's always a thing that the journey is better than the destination. But when the journey is so good, unfortunately, the destination will be the VAR Premiership media circus, getting talked down to from TalkSport, all of the stuff that comes with it, the sort of 2 minutes of patronising banter on Match of the Day from pundits that don't know us so well. We've all got that to look forward to. And in a weird way, being a yo-yo club, that's not us just yet. But if we then get up there, maybe we will become one. You can sort of then maybe enjoy the next season regardless, Tom.
I always think that. I think with Norwich get a bit of stick. They come up, they tend to go back down. They probably will again. They're scrapping. But I always think they've always got someone to look forward to. They're either going for promotion or they're scrapping with relegation. Yeah. And that's quite exciting. Never mid-table mediocrity with a team like Norwich, is there? So yeah, I wouldn't mind that. But I agree with Marky. I just don't think VAR. It does frustrate me. And yeah, I think we'd struggle. I try not to look too much into how would this team get on next season, because I think let's just cross that bridge. I mean, let's just get there. It's more the financial stability of the football club. We're a small football club, and getting to the Premier League is massive. And what we've invested in January is obviously they're really pushing to get there. So that's the main thing in it, just getting back up there, getting the funds. And we've got a small stadium.
Can I just say as well, following on from that as well, coverage now in the Championship is really, really good. Obviously, with back of the net, I know the associates and people that are there, the way that who it's covered from Solent and Dorset Live and people like that. But on a national level and podcasts and what we have now compared to when we were last in the Championship, the coverage of this league is really, really good, and it's getting better. So you always think that if you drop out of the Premier League, you go into obscurity, but it isn't the case. And it's the coverage of this league, the people that cover this league, and the quality as well that we see from a journalism perspective that you guys pick up on from Chris from Solent and Jacob Tanswell. There's nothing to moan about really, because we're in a good place, and if Premier League happens, it does happen. But what we're doing now is such a fun part to be a part of. You know, a game's on, a game's up. I look forward to Stoke at the weekend. It's still so much fun when we strip it right back, apart from, you know, the bad stuff that happened in the FA Cup and the losses around Christmas. It's a good time to support Bournemouth. Let's put it that way.
You know what? I've completely forgotten about the FA Cup. I forgot about it until you said it. Marky, I'm interested in the timeline of your eyesight then. Are you feeling better straight away, or is it a bit of a sort of long journey for you, or what?
I tell you what, it's a simple op, but I was awake. Whilst basically what they do is they put a new lens in your eye, and I was awake and I could see them cutting there. There was no none of that, but I could see them cutting around. So what it means in one eye is the vision is back, but it also means that I've got. It's like I'm opening up. It's like an agony aunt thing here with you guys, isn't it? It's like, how are you, Mark? You all right?
We're there for you. We're there for you, mate. Always.
I'm all good. I'm great. Just that one eye, I'm just a bit out of vision with one bit in depth of field. It's all right when I wear glasses like this. It's all right. We can do that. Just people don't laugh and point at me.
Love it. Marky Masters, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Good evening, everyone.
Up the Cherries.
Cherries.
Here, mate. Love a bit of Marky Masters. Morgan Scott standing by. Also got a couple of others. If you want to get involved, you can just follow that link at the bottom of the screen. Do it on a phone, an iPad, a tablet, a computer, whatever. You don't have to have headphones. We'll let you off this week. AFCBpodcast.com/take part. I've noticed.
Oh, yeah.
You've got an empty drink.
I'll go refill. Refill.
You know what? We'll don't worry. I'll get the drinks, because in the meantime, this is what you can do.
Sound effects, love it.
I had to run to go to the fridge in that amount of time. You know what? That's a world record. I think I've done well there. Look, thanks to everyone that is tuning in. Remember, you can like the video. That really helps us if you press the thumbs up. And also, why not check out our latest tweet as well? Retweet it, because that really helps us grow as well. That's something you can do for free. And Tigz, what have you done there?
Too much head under the table there. Look.
I'm a natural.
He's a natural. Loving the Guinness and loving your company today. Thank you so much to James Rood, who's given us a super sticker. Thank you, James. Really appreciate it. Who else have we got? We've got a Badger and Bournemouth fan here saying, hello, guys. Pete East, hopefully Swansea has moved to a good night so we can slip a night out in the mix. I mean, yeah, if it was
They have a pot world.
Yeah, no, they have.
Oh.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, they
done his research.
Yeah, look, and Lucy just takes the words out of your mouth, mate. Yeah, love that. Right, who else have we got in on the chat as well? Most of these, Paul Kenwood there. Evening, James. Tony needs another drink. Look.
Yeah, he's sorted.
Always.
Thank you, Paul.
Hands up if you've been blocked by John Percy from the Telegraph. Apparently, he's been all over it recently. If you because he put out that tweet because he's a Midlands reporter for the Telegraph.
He's
so
a Forest fan, isn't he?
Yeah. We know where his loyalties lie.
Yeah, and he was always going to be critical. And I think his point was that the Forest team and manager were furious. They wanted the game to go ahead. They wanted it to move to the Saturday. But as we've later found out, Saturday was not possible because nobody could fix the stadium on the Friday because it was too windy.
Tanswell come out great, didn't he? And just put it all down in really, really well done. And it just fired back at him and said, what do you expect us to do? But yeah, I mean, it's outrageous that Swansea haven't give us a game at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning. Well, I mean, you can't get it done in that short time. I think the outrage and stuff from the Forest fans should be directed elsewhere rather than us, to be honest with you.
I mean, there was a lot of damage done around it. Did you see the pictures of the old Millennium O2?
Yeah,
and how that's still been ripped apart. And I think it was quite honestly in my house, looking outside my garden, there was hardly any damage done. So it's very difficult to comprehend it. But I guess stadiums have been damaged.
I did tweet this actually on my personal Sam Davis UK Twitter account. I did and I think this resonated with you. Like when I heard the name Eunice, the first person I could think of was Eunice Huttard.
Yeah.
And I don't even know why I can remember her surname, but then you brought back even more memories by talking about Phil Norman.
Phil Norman
from Bournemouth. He had long hair, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a doorman lately, wasn't he? Yeah.
I'm so youthful. This is just outright. You usually just make me feel so young.
Well, this will give us an interesting shout out. Get an age of our. What am I working? What my words? My words aren't working. Get an idea of our age of people out there. Have you got a favourite gladiator? If you've got a favourite gladiator, put it in the comments below. Let's see who remembers the gladiators.
I'll tell you mine. I used to like Rhino. Do you remember Rhino?
Yeah.
He was a beast, mate.
It was Hunter that was going out or seeing Ulrika, wasn't it?
Ulrika, yeah.
Rhino, I remember. Shadow doing the duel. I thought he never lost apart from once.
You're quite a big fan, weren't you, Sam?
Massive fan.
That and his Big Brother knowledge is unparalleled.
Yeah, my big brother's very good actually. It was a bit. So yeah, anyway, back to the gladiators.
But like Eunice became a gladiator herself.
Was that Blaze?
Blaze.
Yeah. Good. Well done, mate.
I said that to the.
Can you remember the name of the gladiator that Sharon Davies, the swimmer, was?
Oh no.
Oh.
See if the chat know before you say it.
Do you know?
Was it Sharon Davies?
Sharon Davies, the Olympic, swimming champion, blonde hair.
What would be a good name for?
That's what I was just thinking.
And also, by the end of the show, should we do our own gladiator name as well?
Oh, that sounds good. Or unless you want to give us gladiator names.
Oh God,
that'd be great. I loved Wolf was for the kids.
Wolf was afraid of the big bird.
And Jet I equally liked, but for very different reasons.
Yeah, Jet seemed like a nice lady, didn't she?
Yeah, she's a psychologist now. She's on TV talking about people's mental health and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that an idea from Alan Partridge on his TikTok? Was it?
That's an idea.
Anyway, the Gladiators podcast comes live on Friday.
Yeah, you know what?
Should we start up like a side channel?
Yeah,
Gladiators.
I think we should. We got Morgan Scott here, who probably, I'm guessing, wants to talk football because you probably haven't got a clue what we're talking about, do you?
Nah, no clue whatsoever.
Oh, Morgan, mate.
I'll tell you what. Just before you say anything, Tom must have a crystal ball because I was thinking about a Pop World. They're always good experiences. They're part of an away day now, aren't they? So, Tom must have a crystal ball because he must be able to see inside what I was about to say. So, Tom, you're a legend for that.
Thank you very much. No, we might have to do a Pop World tier list at the end of the season at this rate, mate. So, compare the Pop World. It's been a few now, hasn't there? But mate, you as gutted as me, Morgan, about the game being called off tomorrow.
Well, Derby's going in, yes, lads, because you weren't there. No, I'm joking, by the way. I would say it's frustrating, Tom, just to before you have a go at me, Lermont's going to obviously won't be available until the 12th. Which Derby, so that's very, very, very frustrating to say the least. It's ridiculous to be honest with you. COVID, this storm ruining football. Yes, safety's important. But yeah, to be honest with you, I've been down at Vitality today, and I think the only damage is in the South 10 McDougall stand, which is where I sit. So maybe it's a good job that they did call off that game. But obviously, the Swansea game, it seems a little bit like the same situation. We don't know for sure, but safety becomes parallel. Football is our passion. But yeah, it's a tough one. Obviously, we want it to be on, but it's got to be safe for official players and supporters. So yes, it's frustrating, but maybe it is the right call in this situation.
Yeah, I probably agree, mate. I think, like you said about Lerma then, saying earlier, he was out before Valentine's Day, and he's not going to play till after Pancake Day. Absolutely outrageous. But apart from Lerma, we talked about earlier, Morgan, is it trying to think positively? Christie could be back. Laird's going to be closer. Smithy might be a couple more games that Kiefer Moore can play. Mm-hmm. Is that it? Parker might now be able to get some work on the training ground with some of these players that may be further away, maybe even your Bradys and players like that. Just start getting a few more players back to fitness. And in the long run, it might be a good thing if we get Pyle up near the end of the season. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%, Tom. I think that's a really valid point. I think it's very important that we have Stacey's brilliant going attacking, but defensively a bit shaky. Adam Smith, it will be interesting to see how he comes back. He's got a point to prove. He can either come back 100% attitude and get in the team, or here with match fitness. Of course, it will take several weeks. Yeah, it's Brady. We haven't really had any, we haven't seen Brady at all since coming. Very frustrating. Again, Ethan Laird. We're getting player. Kiefer Moore, you didn't mention, but it's very frustrating that we're getting all these players and they just come to us and they're either injured so quickly or they break their foot after 30, a few minutes. So it's very difficult to say, but it's annoying, ain't it, to say the least. But hopefully, being positive, we can get some momentum going. And we have now got a massive pile up of games. It's relentless. The only thing that was good over the weekend, I don't know if you guys agree, with the massive win for Huddersfield over Fulham. The only thing I would like to say on that is our goal difference compared to Fulham's is quite, intense, to say the least, really, ain't it? I can't see us scoring 7 goals for 3 or 4 games in a row to try and equal that. I'm not trying to. It's Monday evening. I don't want to down in anyone's week. I had a brilliant day, but it's just. I don't think we're going to go up from the I want to go up automatics, of course. I can't see us winning this league this season, unfortunately, but I can see hopefully second, because the playoffs they're just a nightmare, aren't they?
Well, we're in reach with points. We are in reach with points, so that's a positive.
Of course,
but you're right, Morgan. I think any team in the universe is going to struggle to match where Fulham are in terms of goal difference. They've scored crazy amounts of goals, back-to-back games, like scoring 4 goals, 7 goals, crazy, ridiculous things going on. You've got to give them credit for that. But you never know. I just got that feeling we could do it. The thing is, I think we've talked about it several times, is the capitulation. Is that the right word?
Capitulation.
That's it.
Sorry, I got my words mixed up.
That's all right, Tigz. I'll forgive you on a Monday evening.
That's it, yeah. Of the other teams around us. Clip us up.
Yeah, clip that up. We'll put it to me. Hey, Morgan, but speaking of the title, we got some silverware this weekend, didn't we? And look, I just want to give a mention to Chris Edwards. Just happy to see Tom and Sam have not got pneumonia after the Saturday match. Get some rain pants, gents. And look, it was fantastic to see the under-18s doing their thing. I thought they had a really solid game against Plymouth, who dominated the first sort of 20, 25 minutes. They took the lead, and I was worried that they were going to pit Cherries to the top. It didn't matter because we'd already got promoted. The top 5 get promoted, but they dug in, and it shows that they really wanted it. They pulled it back, a 2-1 win, and then 20 minutes to go, the equaliser, we held on.
Mate, I'll tell you what, you'd have been in for. I would have been giving you some stick if we didn't win the title after that. After you given me that bright idea of that was horrendous weather, wasn't it? I don't know if anyone's seen the highlights on AFTV, like the goals and stuff.
AFTV,
AFCB
TV.
If
they played that.
Yeah, Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal have any connection. AFCB TV, because you can barely see it, can you? You can barely see it. It's awful. I mean, it was awful weather, but fair play to them. I think it's one of them difficult ones. We knew going into it, to win the title, Plymouth had to win.
Yeah.
We needed a draw. that's a difficult mentality for especially obviously under 18s, because you only have to draw the game, and I think you automatically come out, we're a bit deeper, whereas Plymouth are going, we might as well go for it then. And I think that was evident early on. And but it was almost a good thing they scored the goal, because then they had to open up. Some good players though. I thought I think he was in the picture. He was the left back, wasn't he? We were saying on the day. Noah, that's right, Morgan. Noah Butin, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Very good. Very good.
He was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He was up and down. He was superb. And obviously we went to Eastleigh and Weymouth in the week, and the left back was best player on the pitch there as well. So, but he was really good, and they got some nice, tidy players, and really enjoyed it. I think they liked having a bit of a crowd there as well. They really, really got stuck in. It was that's a proper football match. The ball could barely roll. It was hideous. And as I say, if we hadn't got something out of that game, I would never let Sam live it down, because that's the word. I just got home and I was absolutely. My car is still wet. I can't remember being that wet watching the football match before. Steve and Adam still rocked up, didn't they? So, but no, it was nice. Just really difficult to watch. But what I did watch, I enjoyed it, mate. It's really good. All the academies and stuff like that doing well. Yeah. That's only good things we're seeing this season with Zamora, Anthony. Okay. It's good, mate. It's a long-term future of the football club. You want to see stuff like that. So, enjoyable, mate. And
the people there as well. Like, it's great to see a Joe Roach still knocking around doing stuff back there. You got
Warren Cummins was watching.
Cummins was watching. I saw Alan Connell in some of those. Obviously. Yeah. So, that's really good, isn't it? Like, it's lovely for me, certainly. I'm sure it is for you boys too, to be thinking about those players who saw some really interesting times at our football club, to be doing that and being part of the new guys coming through. So, really good. And onwards and upwards in everything. All departments, definitely, in our football club at the moment. Everything's looking really rosy and really, really good. And not just the youth team either.
I mean, I'm glad I'm with you two tonight, because that made me feel old. Watching that and thinking, Alan Connell's the manager. I remember him as a youngster at Bournemouth. Like, it's crazy. And and these lads, I mean, they're built. They're under 18s. I'm thinking they're towering above me.
Wow.
But really good. And there's certain things we managed to watch the under 23s a few times this season, because they've been at the Vitality. I've watched a couple of their games, then watched the under 18s. And there's certain patterns of play you think that's coming all the way through. And that's what I like to see, is there's similar patterns of play and similar types of players and similar roles. And you're thinking, they're trying to make him into this sort of player. And it's good to see. So that was a positive from what's been a bit of a footballless
very
time.
Very much. And Morgan, it's not only the development side, the under 18s that get an experience of playing at Dean Court, also the women's side. It was put on Twitter today that they'll have a game there too.
You got a crystal ball as well. You and Tom. Tigz, have you got one as well? No, I'm joking. No, I was just about to say that. No, it's fantastic opportunity. It doesn't matter if it's men, women's, 18 to 23 development, whatever ability, you should be recognised at your home of your stadium, the Vitality, Dean Court as we know it. It will always be Dean Court, and it's a fantastic opportunity on the 10th of April. The details are on the club's website. And just to allude to the what Tom was saying about Eastleigh then, Brennan Camp signed on loan this evening. I was at the Vitality Stadium when that broke, actually. Been down there, seen a few faces today. Mark Pugh, got a nice little handshake of him earlier today. Sean Cooper, Annan Commell, Tommy Elpett, all down there doing a few things as well. So no, it's been good. But no, it's a fantastic opportunity for the women. And I think this season for the 18, as Tom was saying, that was a very, very cold day. And the little scuffle at the end. And I'm not saying that I like fights in football, because we want to be professional and keep the discipline, but it's good to see the passion and the determination that they wanted to. They weren't letting anything go. I even heard on the vlog, I don't know if it was you, Tom, saying, "Oh, ref, there's only 5 seconds left. We'll just leave it," because booking people with a few seconds to go and having suspensions for other competitions or whatever. But no, it was really good to see, and I tell you what, I felt even colder watching that than you probably felt when you were there. So thanks for that, lads.
It was a weird one, wasn't it? But go back to the women. I think that's great. It's great to see that today. That was a nice. That's going to be their first competitive game, isn't it, the Vitality? And I think I feel like now with social media, with what happened during COVID, I feel like they'll get a good crowd there. I feel like it's really come on, hasn't it? And everyone I feel like, I'm not going to pretend I've watched it. I've never watched a Bournemouth women's game, but I feel like I know what's going on and how they're doing, because there's really good coverage from them at the moment. So I'm quite looking forward to that game. I think that'll be really nice. I think most people will be there supporting them. And it feels like Bournemouth now, like Morgan was saying, doesn't matter what kind of team it is. You just want Bournemouth to do well, and I think the club are doing really well at that. Really well.
I've watched them a couple of times before, but this was before I think AFCB Community sort of took them under their wing a bit. So that was when like Paula Taylor was up front. She was scoring loads of goals. Sammy Humphries was like running the midfield. But now there's a new batch of players that are coming in, and one of them as well. And honestly, from the highlights that you've seen, I mean, you've seen some of the wonder goals that they're scoring as well, and it's going to be such an experience for them as well.
Definitely.
Going in the home team like dressing room and stuff, and it's only going to just make them want to perform like better when they've got hundreds, maybe thousands of people watching them. I think it's going to be great.
Well, they've smashed in the season, and the recruitment that's been done on the ladies' team is incredible. The players they brought in.
We're grabbing like good players from Portsmouth
and Southampton as well, which is really good for us. They've been going great guns, and that game that's being showed it's going to be at the stadium, the Vitality. That's their penultimate game, and the way things are going at the moment, they're on for promotion. So that could be the promotion clinching, deciding game. That could be absolutely huge.
And we always turn up at matches where promotion is clinched. So we'll go again to that. We can't wait. Yeah, go on, Morgan.
Just to say they have to reiterate what Tigz was saying, they are penultimate. They haven't lost a game in the league this season. They are out of all the cup competitions, but we don't care about cup competitions at Bournemouth now. Of course we do. They're important. It's fine. But no, in terms of it's fantastic. They're unbeaten, and it's a great opportunity at Vitality, and I'm sure they'll get a good crowd behind them, and hopefully they can make it. We can get a good atmosphere. We do for the men's side as well. Tom was saying it's important that we back every team that play in the AFC Bournemouth era. So no, it's fantastic, really, to say the least.
Morgan, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it, buddy.
Cheers, Morgan.
No worries at all. Let's hope Storm Eunice doesn't cause any more trouble recently.
No, that's it. Very much so. So I didn't realise this until only a few months ago that they rotate the sex. So it's like Eunice female, and then it's and then it's going to be G will be like, I don't know, Gloria, H will be Harry.
Right. Should we keep going?
Yeah. But should we do AFC Bournemouth players all the way? That'd be difficult.
That would be hard, actually.
We've got David Cordell here in Washington that's joining us. Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm okay. It's really nice hearing you talk about the women's team too and the youth team. So it's really important that the club is more than just the first team. It's a club. And I agree with you about the youth players. I mean, I was watching some of the FA Youth Cup on when they streamed it, and I thought some of the players were really good. So
really good.
The world looks good. Unlike the Nottingham Forest fans who are really pissing me off, especially John Percy, the so-called Telegraph reporter.
Yeah.
I don't know if I complained to the Telegraph editorial staff, and I got back an email saying that the reason that it's his personal email. I said, well, if it's his personal email, why does he call it Percy Telegraph? I don't know. I mean, he stirred it up, and he stirred them up. And I thought it was really unfortunate because it really wasn't Bournemouth's fault that it was postponed. I mean, I think the EFL deserves a lot of blame for that, for not calling it earlier.
Yeah. Do you think that I don't want to talk too much about it, but do you think that the reporter who did that knew that, and that was a way of kind of drumming up a little bit of interest, a little bit of controversy, a little bit of eyes look at me, and I can maybe look really good?
Well, then he blocked. But then he blocked every Bournemouth fan. So I mean, I don't know. He's from Nottingham, so I think kind of that says is biased, doesn't it? But I think it's unfortunate that they didn't call it early. I do feel sorry for the Forest fans who travelled all the way down in that weather. I mean, I think that's really bad. I felt sorry for Ross Devonport, who flew all the way from the States to see a game. But he really, actually, to be fair, he came to watch the rugby, and that was the bonus was the Bournemouth playing on the Friday night.
Well, according to the Daily Mail, he was angry and enraged at the match being postponed. But
you couldn't believe that, could he?
He came on Twitter and said, I was neither of those two emotions. It's like, what?
Oh, we seem to have a bit of that.
I think that's a good example of the tabloid media stirring it up. Putting words in your mouth.
But, I was going to say, we had a similar thing with Durham, didn't we? With Peterborough. When the game got called off against Peterborough, Adrian Durham from TalkSport. Yeah. I think there's this little thing in there with the parachute payment. We just always seem to get it at the moment. I think it's weird as a Bournemouth fan. I think that's why we I feel like we're kind of like the Man City of the champion. Like we're getting no one likes us because we've got this money and all this, and then we sign loads of players in January. That didn't help. It's almost like parking on purpose, and we're just poking them.
But people forget that we did sign a lot of players, but we also signed a lot of players in the summer that paid for those players that we got in January. So I think people are a little jealous of the fact that little old Bournemouth is no longer in the bottom league and is punching above its weight. So, but I think it's going to be a tough end of the season. I don't think we're guaranteed for automatic promotion. I mean, I think we have to win our games. The good news is I think some of the players we've got are really good. I think Todd Cantwell has been a masterpiece of getting him, and I think some of the other players we've got also are really going to make a difference. But we have to win the games, and there's no easy game in this league, as you've all pointed out. It's we've lost to Derby, right? QPR lost to Barnsley. On any given day, any team can beat any team in this league, and that's what makes this league brilliant, right? And that's why we like this league, is because there's real parity even from the top to the bottom between all the teams. That doesn't happen in the Premier League. I mean, in the Premier League, if you're lucky, you get a result against one of the top six. But a lot of times it's really tough. And those of you saying about next year, let's worry about next year when we get there. We will need to strengthen the team. There's no doubt about that. I would like to see us finish that training ground though, because I think improving the academy is key. And that's the biggest thing we can do. I know everybody wants a new stadium, but the academy is the future in terms of if you bring those young players through and you're able to have a constant stream on them. If we were ever to go back down again, that would be our resource, right? I think that's really important.
Yeah, brilliant, David. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, have a good time, guys.
Yeah, we'll do.
Thank you, mate.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Yeah, I really appreciate that. David Cordell, who's got his hands on a back of the net mug. Finally, it arrived with him. Glad of that. And it's weird, like, our academy never really used to produce that many stars that would actually end up in the first team. But now it feels like there's more chance, there's more progression, there's more continuity between the different age groups. And we're showing that with the likes of Jaden Anthony, Jordan Zamora, Mark Travers, Gavin Kilkenny, Ibsen Rossi, hitting the ground running you sort of when they come back in. But then there's the likes of Brentford that have ditched their academy. And they are going a completely different route of, sustainability. What would you rather? Do you quite like having the academy? Because I quite like it.
Yeah, I like to be able to produce our own.
Yeah.
Although, arguably our own, a lot of them aren't, are they? A lot of them are
getting as kids from Southampton.
Or Arsenal in some cases, or wherever. It's really interesting. I think our rise was so rapid from what we didn't expect. Let's be honest, nobody expected us to go to the Premier League as quickly as we did. We kind of left a few behind. Like we had players that are probably good enough back then to play League One, maybe even Championship, but we got to the Premier League so quickly. Like Harry Cornick. Neil Cornick's dad. Harry Cornick is a really good example of that. Like, he's doing great guns in the Championship, but he didn't really kick on for us because we moved up so quickly. Because
Jaden Stockley, I thought, was similar. Yeah, he's doing all right. I think he's in League One now at Charlton, and he's doing well. Like, you think, a lot of these players now, you think they're League One footballers. Like, a lot of the players that are under 23s could probably compete in the lower. It's mental to think that. Because that's where our first team used to be.
Yeah.
So it is crazy. But I think what we're doing well at the moment is, like Tigz alluded to there, is we know where we're at in terms of our academy. So what we're doing is players that are not quite making it from Arsenal, as an example you used, then we're grabbing them. So your Zamuras, right? We're grabbing them off the top academies that they're not quite making it. So we're going, right, we'll see if you can make it here. But I'm not being funny. If we were to attain our goals this season and go up, you're looking at Zamora and Anthony down that left hand side, thinking, we've got them as kids, and they've, that's where you think it's a good job we had an academy, wasn't it? Because, I mean, with them injuries at the start of the season that we were talking about earlier, I mean, we're having to play these youngsters, so we're definitely, hats off to it this season. I think a lot of last season we're thinking now we had problems at left back. What, Zamora? You know what I mean? Sometimes it just needs, maybe we're forced into it a little bit of injuries, but it's something I've got to say. Scott Parker did have the, he had the trust in them, didn't he, early on to go, if you can do it, you can do it. Do you know what I mean? He come in with that fresh pair of eyes, maybe, and kind of said, go and prove it to me. And a lot of them hadn't let him down. So, I think I like having an academy. I do like it. And I think at the moment, like we said earlier, it's it's really nice when you feel like it's all part of one big thing. And,
yeah, I agree.
And everyone's enjoying it, and I'm loving seeing like, you know, when the under-23s like come back against Arsenal, I think, oh, that's massive.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, I can't remember ever thinking that about like our reserve teams and that.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, really good. I really like it, mate.
And if we can get it all under one roof, if that training ground does happen, I mean, that would be incredible. But I reckon we'll find out pretty soon.
Yeah,
you know, if we get promoted, if we look like that's on, I think we'll find out pretty soon whether that's gonna push on or not.
Exciting times. Look, I've got to say thank you to Kevin Angel, who's given us a super chat. Great show tonight. Bring on Stoke. Super chat. Help support the channel. And look, you can also support the channel by going to afcbpodcast.com/coffee. And if you go there, you can donate a one-off amount, or you can donate monthly. And look, Tom, if you have a look behind you,
I'm not gonna look.
Look at this beauty.
Ooh, context. It's gonna.
The exchange and mar. Oh, it's round the right way. It's almost like you prepared that. Look at that. Do you remember that kit from 92, 93? Made into a scarf. It's from Fans Favourite. You need to check them out. Fans Favourite. Just give them a Google. They are the home of retro scarves. Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
I mean, the quality of that is thick.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Go to fansfavourite.co.uk. However, anyone that is a monthly subscriber, or sorry, donator to Back of the Net at afcbpodcast.com/coffee will go into a draw at the end of this month to win one of them. And because what happens with like this and on Back of the Net on Twitter and stuff, we often get companies that will approach us and say, look, do you want a free blah blah for a tweet or whatever? How long can you hold that up? And to be honest, it's nothing that we want to give a bit back. So anyone that donates monthly, you'll be and there's a Toffs shirt, retro AFC Bournemouth one next month. We'll do another one of those a month after. So anything we get, we'll give back to you. So go to afcbpodcast.com/coffee if you want to become a monthly subscriber, because it helps us do the things we do with the cat. Should I just keep talking? Your arms must be aching.
Also, this one, if you're really, this one smells a bit like me now, so just rubbed it on.
Yeah,
so it's going to smell like
that. Doesn't still exist as a publication, does it? Because otherwise, that's great advertising. I doubt it does. But if you want to get one, afcbpodcast.com/coffee, go into the draw, or just buy one. Fansfavourite.co.uk, search AFC Bournemouth and get one of these beautiful scarves, and we might give away another one next month as well. Tom, your time here is done.
Oh,
shirt, yeah.
Nice though. It is a really nice scarf.
It's a really nice.
It's
a genuinely very lovely scarf.
We got Reese here. Reese is with us.
Reese.
Hello, buddy. All right, mate.
All right, how you doing?
Very good, right. So you live in a place that we are about to mention now. Let's see if we can see that place on the league table at the moment. I'm scrolling down, mate. I'm not seeing it.
Where are they? Where are they? Where are
mate,
they?
They're 21st. You live in Reading, right?
21st.
You must be loving it, mate, aren't you?
Yeah,
Because you can.
I'm bullying everyone. I love it. Every time I go to college, every time I go football, I'm bullying them. And then they keep mentioning, I got bullied for the Bournemouth loss. Yeah, I didn't want to go college. I don't want to go college at all. And then I just said, where are you in the league table? Where are you in the league? I think Derby was still their place.
Yeah.
A quick question, Sam. Do you think the game will be postponed on Saturday?
Tom, what do you think, mate? Oh, I don't know.
Quite confident we'll be all right. We've got enough time. I think the weather's calming down. I think they can get the stuff done they need to. Hopefully sort it out. Like I say, I don't actually know. I'm just guessing it. But I'm thinking if they need to do some work on the stadium, they've got enough time. And I'm hoping that the weather will be fine for them to just crack on tomorrow. I'll go down there and make sure, give them a nudge. So can you just get the work done?
You sure? Because I spent train tickets. I can't get the train tickets back. I got the train tickets and I got the tickets there. And that's like £23 already gone. And I have to get off of Southampton Airport. And I don't know where the Royal Replacement bus is. And it's like a 50-minute drive down to Bournemouth.
Oh, mate. Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. It will be all good for you.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, go on, go for it.
I want to ask you a question. Where do you think we'll finish at the end of the season? Because if you saw on Saturday, Fulham lost on the table, and we're known for being bottle jobs. And we're not, you know what Leeds did a couple seasons ago, where they won, they were first, they went to second, then they went to third. I want to know where we'd finish in this season, because I'm a bit 50-50 of it. I'm a bit on edge.
I think, Reece, I really think we're going to finish second. I think if we don't, then we've really bottled it, mate. We're going to really drop the ball to drop below second now. When you look at how many points we got in on?
We're on 58, aren't we?
We're on 58. So
16 to go.
16 games to go. If we got 30 points would fly past what we need if we got 30 points. That's 2 points a game, less than 2 points a game. Yeah, I think we'd be all right, mate. I genuinely think we should finish second. If we don't, then it's all in our own hands. So it'll be all our own fault. You think how far teams below us are.
Oh, crazy.
So how many points Blackburn got?
Blackburn, because we've got games in hand. We can afford for them to. What's the actual?
Blackburn on 54. There you got it there on
4
screen.
points behind. We've got 2 games in hand.
Yeah. So if we get,
and they've won 1 in their last 5.
Yeah, we should. I would like to think, not that it really matters because I just want to go up, but I'd like to think at the end of the season we're closer to first than we are third.
Yeah,
I would genuinely like to, because
I like that as well.
Yeah, the times, the games in hand we've got, the squad we've got, the points we've already got on the board. We should be fine. Like you said, Tigz, we were talking about earlier, weren't we? Like, because of the way the league is this season, 85 should be enough. It should be.
You really think 85 points?
I reckon it could be. You normally look at around 87, don't you? 87, 88. Well, the league this season, I think the teams below us are so inconsistent that I would be happy to say that 85 would get you automatically.
I'm not thinking that. I'm not thinking. I'm thinking more 90 to 92 because we've been bottling it quite a lot. Like our form has been dipped and going up and down, and I don't, because you can't tell with us. It's a bit odd. Like I might be deluded. I don't know what I'm thinking sometimes, but I generally don't think. I don't think that'll be enough because Blackburn, you get Blackburn, you get QPR, you don't know who's on form, and they might be creeping up behind us like Blackburn did for last couple of weeks. They might have been on form, but have you seen Sheffield United recently? Like they're climbing up the table slowly. Like they're flying. Like they could go on a win. Like they could win most of their games, and that's what I'm saying. They could be like an absolute threat.
Yeah, but we'd have to lose most of ours, Reece, for them to make that. Because we're quite a way into the season now, really. So we'd have to lose quite a lot of ours for them. Even if they went on an incredible winning run, we have to drop so many points now because the difference between us and Sheffield is pretty big. I think the other thing as well, the way I like to think of it and the way I kind of switch my thinking is rather than think about how many points you need for second, how many points you need for third. I can't see any team in third getting 90 points.
No chance. Not this season. And I think that the good thing is, we're talking about it, is the fact that we've got all these teams to play with. Apart from QPR, we've got to play them all. And I think that's going to be key. I mean, the fact we've done the double on QPR, I think at the end of the season is going to be massive that we took 6 points off them. And we've got to play all the others really in it. So, that's going to play a part. But I just think, I agree with what Reece said. I think normally you'd probably, to play it safe, you go, I'd like to hit 90 if you can. I think last season the top two were both in the 90s. But this season, there's not, there's not enough quality, and then teams. I think the teams mid-table can take points off then teams trying to get promoted. Yeah, and I just think it's going to be more mid to late 80s rather than touching 90. Fulham might, but I think late 80s is going to be the top two.
Yeah,
as much as I don't. Carry on. No, you go first. No, you go first. No, you're talking, man.
I'll decide. You go.
But it's about how many points we drop. It's all in our hands now. So it's about how many points we're going to drop. We'd have to play pretty bad to let them all back in. When we have played bad, they've played bad. So we've been really, really fortunate so far. The other thing as well is to look at the squad value. So I know that's because there might be some other fans of other clubs thinking, well, that's a bit arrogant, like thinking that they're going to do it. The only reason we do that is if we don't do it based upon what people perceive as the value of our football club, the value of our squad of players, it would be pretty awful. Like
the only team that's going to stop us coming second is ourselves, in my opinion. It's all in our own hands. If like Reece is right, teams go on runs, stuff like that. It's gonna be, but it's in our own hands to go on our own run. Let's get enough points. I think we can almost just win every other, and we'll be fine. I think if we don't go up, we've only got ourselves to blame. So we're in a good position. As a few people have said in the chat, we do need to look at the fact that, yes, we've got games in hand. I'd always rather the points. Definitely always rather the points. But so we've got to take advantage of them games in hand when they come. But as long as we do that, like I said, cut the games in hand on most teams. As long as we win one of them, no one's capitalising.
I watched something on YouTube about games in hand and how it works psychologically with players and management thinking. Like, I know you're thinking amount of points, this, that, and the other, but if you're going into that game, you have that pressure of getting those points, and if you're thinking a player's perspective as well, because let's be realistic. All of these players in the Championship, like mid-table, relegation bout, they're all old League One, League Two quality, and we've got Premier League quality players, and they're having that high expectation of literally dragging our football club back to where we want to be. And in my opinion, if we don't reach that goal, we're either battling for playoffs or it's mid-table supremacy, and then it's mid-table for ages and ages until something amazing happens to our club, or we go back to League One where we technically belong.
Yeah, we need to do it this year. I think January proved that. I think the fact that they strengthened so much on deadline day showed that the people above, Scott Parker, they all went, we got a great chance here.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we do it. So I agree with Reese. It's got to be this season. It's got to be this season, mate.
Yeah, it has to be. Reese, thank you for coming on, mate. Really appreciate
Thank you
it.
very much, man.
Cheers,
Up
Reese.
the Cherries, and
Reese.
make sure
The
you
Cherries. Up the
rip the
Cherries.
hell out of your mates in Reading, mate. And yeah, fingers
I
crossed
love
when we
that,
get
man.
that win against Stoke, mate.
Yeah, man.
Love it.
Take care.
All the best, buddy.
See you, buddy.
That's Reese. Love it. But don't bully though. Just take the P. That's fine. Okay. Great to have Reese on. Look, we're gonna have a quick chat, because we need to do one more thing before we wrap up, and that's predict a few outcomes and work out how many points we will get.
And Gladiators.
Oh yeah,
Was there a gladiator called Storm?
yeah. Was that?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there might have been. Was that in the American version?
There
Though?
might have been. I'm just
Because-
thinking Storm Eunice. Is that two gladiators in one?
Do you remember when they did the Ashes?
Yes, I vaguely do. Different countries of gladiators, wasn't it?
And also they did one with the US ones. They swapped and stuff and all that as well. But so you did one. All right. What was your favourite? Mine was Atlas Fears.
Was that the one where they had to? I liked Hang Tough. Was it Hang Tough?
Hang Tough, yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. I like Atlas Fears, where they were in the hamster cages and they had to roll over
Yes.
those mini, and then it would.
Yeah.
I just
Where's
remember the feeling.
PK? PK, you love a bit of gladiators. You should be on it.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Quick chat. James Reed, you've got your mic muted at the moment, mate. You've got it.
Hello.
Muted. You
There
know
we
what you're
go.
doing. How are you, mate? You all right?
Yeah.
You're all good. Sad that Bournemouth didn't play either against Forest or against Swansea, but hopefully we're playing Stoke on Saturday. Are we going to win, mate?
Away. Oh.
No, we're home against Stoke. We're home against Stoke. So what are you thinking? He's putting his scoreline in now. 2-1.
Yeah, I love that.
2-1. Excellent, mate. James, are we going up? Are we going up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a
He's
yes.
saying
It's
yes, mate. And
Yeah.
yes, excellent, mate. I love to see it, mate. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it's very short, but we've got to wrap up the show.
Right.
AFC Bournemouth legend James Reed. There he is. Cheers, buddy.
Right.
Got to get James, I meant, yeah.
Yeah.
Got to get him on.
Also, we've got to get Andrew on as well, who's been waiting. Andrew Corbin. I apologise for the delay, Andrew. How are you, mate? You all right?
You all right?
Very
Good,
good, mate. What shirt is that you're wearing today, mate?
A Santa one.
Mate, right. Mate, Father Christmas.
Yeah.
Mate, it's February the 21st.
He's trying to bring Christmas joy. I like it. I'm going to have to get my jumpers back out, I think.
Yeah. Love it, mate.
Man.
So,
What happened to this? Dad got out the wardrobe by mistake.
oh, did it?
Oh,
well,
well.
mate, you're doing well to wear it. And look, if you were Father Christmas, you'll be gifting Bournemouth 3 points on Saturday against Stoke, right?
Correct. And
Good.
also,
Yeah, go on.
we wouldn't have these problems we've got now.
Yes, exactly, mate. It must be hard, mate. Like, we're missing the football, aren't we? It's not nice without it. Like, what have you been watching on TV tonight?
Not much.
No. Are you
Nothing
gonna-
to
You're
watch.
virtually on your channel most of the night.
Oh, mate.
That's
Absolute
one of the
hero.
He knows what to do.
He knows. Thank you very much, Andrew. And look, we'll get you on the vlog on Saturday's game. I'm absolutely certain. Have you got a prediction for that Stoke game at the weekend, buddy?
I'm working it out in my head. I'm working it out and I'll let you know by Saturday.
Oh,
Okay,
okay. Look at him teaser.
Mate,
Love that.
oh,
He's making us wait for the prediction. I like it.
You like to build it up, Andrew, and then you leave us on tenterhooks. It's like you're a script writer for EastEnders. Love it, mate.
There again, Sam.
Go
I
on.
used to put strips all the time, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You know what? All your predictions that you used to were very, very good. Like quite often he's on the money. Andrew Corbin, thank you for coming on. Can I push you for a prediction? Can I twist your arm at all?
One now.
Go on.
3 to us.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, hang on. 3 to us. How many to Stoke? Don't say 4.
1.
Oh, 3-1.
Take it.
Andrew, thanks for going on, mate. Up the cherries.
Yeah.
The cherries. See you later, buddy. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. John Sparks here as well. Hello, John. You all right, mate?
Hello. Sorry I'm a bit late. But yes, busy evening. But how are you guys doing?
Yeah, very good. And you know what, mate? I think you've come at a good time, because what we're aiming to do, we're going to put on our sort of almost our negative heads, and being very measured, pessimistic. Hicks is going to have his calculator standing by, and we're going to look at our running, okay? And we're going to just assume that we've got the same amount of injuries as we always have. You know, some players come and some players go, and we're going to sort of work out by going through these fixtures. We're not going to ask you for scorelines, John, but just kind of, are we going to win or lose them or draw? And how many points we're going to end up with. And then what we'll do is we'll compare it with previous seasons and see if the final figure means we're going up or not. But firstly, John, let's just talk about the 2 postponements that we have had. Hugely frustrating. Storm Eunice has caused more damage than I ever thought was possible.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be record-breaking wins to still lead to a game being called off and damage being done. I did very much appreciate Mr. Blake's response to the Swansea game being called off, because it doesn't matter what it is. A good jab against a rival is a good dig. It's always good fun, particularly from someone when you don't expect it. It's disappointing. It's obviously disappointing, but the fact is, in both situations, there is at least a small chance of threat to harm to spectators.
Yeah.
And you cannot play a football match if that's the case. So this is frustrating. I think for us, the argument was that, you've got injuries, you're obviously wanting to put it off. But the fact is that it doesn't really matter what the injuries were. We don't want to pile up our fixtures the way that, unfortunately, is definitely going to happen now because of the Swansea match as well. So, we've got to hopefully keep our form going and make the most of the lead that we've currently got, because we're going to need it going into April.
Yeah, we might look at this that deadline day, John, and think, tell you what, it's good that we strengthen that squad because we're going to have a bit of a fixture pile up. Do you think near the end of the season, looking at this pile up, do you think it could affect us negatively in the fact that we could have so many games? Or do you think a couple of wins, it could work well, momentum, could get some extra players back? You know, we spoke about Chris is probably going to be back sooner now, Ethan Laird, Adam Smith, Kiefer Moore. Then players might get more games now because of these postponements. How are you looking at it? Are you trying to think positively about it like I am?
I would certainly think of it positively just because we've got the points in hand at the moment, and really doesn't matter how many games there is. We're in second, as has probably been pointed out. That's not going to change after the midweek as well. So it's interesting that Tifo Football actually put out a video on the history of games in hand, although that was focusing on the Premier League. But it was quite interesting to see that actually in most scenarios, a lot of teams have actually done quite well out of games in hand. But then you've also got to look that sometimes it doesn't happen. You've only got to look at Rotherham last season and their ridiculous pile up of fixtures. And if that hadn't happened, if they hadn't got so many games called off by COVID, I have no doubt they would have survived and Derby would have gone down. It could go either way, but we're in a very good position regardless. So I would say that we can stay positive for now. And then, like I said, I think the next month is huge to try and build the gap that we've got, because we've all looked at that April set of fixtures and gone, my God, that is a nightmare.
Yeah.
And we just need to make the most. It's not like we're going to go to those games and thinking, just a point from every single one will be fine. No, we can definitely win some of the games, but you just never know. We're coming up against all the playoff sides, basically. So we've got to just make the most of the games that we would expect to win over the next sort of month or so.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Thanks, by the way, to Heather for the super sticker. Really appreciate it.
She's a diamond.
She is a diamond. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Right then, let's have a look at these games then.
Right, we're gonna win them all.
Yeah, I mean, Tom.
Yeah.
Win them all. I love your enthusiasm. We can go round and do one each. I think we'll beat Stoke City at home.
Yeah.
I think we will. So whack 3 points on, mate.
Done it.
We'll have 3 points there.
I'll put it in the Rachel Riley.
Yeah, put it in the Rachel. Did you know? Oh no, all these little things I know. Did you know what the name of that computer thing that does the numbers on Countdown is?
No.
It's called Cecil. But you didn't know that, did you? Yeah, it's called Cecil. I can't remember what it stands for. It's an abbreviation for something.
Makes me feel
Countdown's electrical something like that.
Just move on to the football.
Yeah, let's do football. March. Preston away.
March against Preston on the Saturday the 5th.
Do you want me to? Because I normally try and bring it up with positivity.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, everyone always says, "Oh, he's too positive."
It's in the north, so maybe we should be levelling up.
No, we never beat Preston.
We never do.
A bogey team. I'm telling you, we're losing it.
We're losing it.
All right.
I'm not going to add.
I don't know, John. Give us some input on that. But do you know what I mean? Preston are a bogey team, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. They're one of a couple, I think. But the only thing is, I would say, is that with their change in manager, might actually suit us. Ryan Lowe is quite well known for being more of a passing type of manager. He's gotten his philosophy more involved into the team, and the only game he's lost so far was against Swansea, who is a very pass-heavy, possession-based team. So, I agree that we've not got a great record against Preston, but I'm a little bit more positive than that. I certainly think we can at least get a point out of that game.
It's up to you two then.
Well, we'll stick with you because
zero.
Yeah, we'll stick with 0.
If it ends up not looking like enough at the end,
we're
I'll
at
say
a bit
maybe
on,
we'll nick
yeah.
one. Yeah.
All right, Tigz, we'll come to you then. Peterborough, this is this is like what 3 home games in 8 days, which I'm not sure we've had.
All
for
against
a long
teams
time.
in a relegation scrap.
We can get a point. We can get 3 points here.
Yeah,
So
so
we should be getting 3 points against Peter. Then who knows? But I'm going to say 3.
All right then, go and add it on.
Yeah.
Okay, John, Derby. I mean, they're a team that's really close to being safe after being 21
Remember
points.
the last time we played them?
Yeah, exactly. And they did well against us last time. How do you feel about that game against Derby? Should it be one that will get 3 points in, or are you not as optimistic?
Another bogey team. I would say certainly. Because it was 1-1 last season at home to them when we were on a good run and we looked like we were doing fine and then just couldn't really actually turn up on the day. You'd think we get 3 points, but Derby aren't a relegation side in terms of how they play. They are a playoff chasing side in how they play. So, or at least their results anyway. I would still be saying we should expect to win that game, particularly as with our squad now, with their the fixtures are eventually piling up. Stress is piling up for them. They have probably the smallest squad in the league, I would imagine, and they lost players in January. So, I'd still be relatively confident that we can beat Derby.
All right,
okay.
Add 3 points onto that. Right, Reading at home.
Oh yeah. So just put 3 on. 6
however, right, I'm just gonna throw a curveball in there because look, we all think 9 out of 9 is achievable. It won't happen. It won't.
Okay, so you want to level
we'll
it out.
drop points. I don't necessarily think it'll happen against Reading.
But you want to drop a 1 in.
Yeah, I'm going to put a 1 for
Let's
that.
put a 1 in. I agree.
And also,
I agree with what Sam's saying.
they're scrapping for it. Like, look, we've looked at matches like that before where we've got we're playing this team, we're playing that team.
Yeah,
we should be getting 6, and it hasn't happened.
I agree. I don't see 9 out of them 3.
I mean, we should. I mean, Derby's the one that maybe throws me a little bit, but to even it up, I'm going to say we'll draw against Reading.
Yeah, I think we're probably. I mean, weirdly, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we drew with Derby, and I wouldn't be surprised if we drew with Peterborough. I actually think we would beat Reading, but it doesn't really matter. I agree. I think we'll probably get 7 from them 3 rather than 9. So,
we're talking about the 18th of March, which is a fair distance away. It's almost a month. Who knows?
God, even Lerma will be back by then.
Yeah.
Oh, who knows?
And look,
are you sure?
Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah, hopefully.
Tom, we'll come to you next. And look, in amongst these fixtures, there will be matches against Forest and Swansea. So let's do Forest and Swansea next before we go on to Bristol City, which John will do. Nottingham Forest at home. I mean, the return of Cookie, the potential return of Graben if he's back from injury, depending on when it is. Sam Surridge, of course. Ooh.
We'll beat them.
Is that you just,
I think we'll beat Forest at home. I do. I think it'll be a
skanky one.
I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be midweek. Kind of like, I think we'll nick it. I'm going to go for I weirdly think, I don't know if it's just like that home thing. I think, we win our own games, get a few. I think we'll beat Forest. I don't know why. I think we'll beat Forest at home.
I think it's going to be Watford levels of last season.
Yeah.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be a lot of hype around there.
What, another ban for someone?
Yeah.
I mean, they have it.
Someone's going to get
Do we have a
banned.
man sent off, or do they have a man sent off?
Wilshere got sent off.
Oh, Wilshere did,
Lerma walked away, didn't he?
As long as it's not
Yes,
Lerma.
he did. He didn't even get carded.
Lerma didn't even get booked that game.
Yeah.
Absolute legend.
Oh,
I think we'll beat Forest.
All right, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to put a 3 in.
All right, and then Tigz, I'm coming to you for Swansea away then.
I would. Well, do you know what? Previous to
if we're playing them tomorrow,
we're winning. That's how I feel. But now I don't feel that way. Why don't I feel that way now? That doesn't make any sense to me.
We feel like we're not going to play them off the back of a 4-0 defeat again, are we?
No.
So you think they've been on a bad run? They're 17th. I feel like they would have got a few wins by then.
They're not. They're a good team. We know they're a good team.
Yeah,
They're
just
players.
They're just having a bad run. I'm leaving it with you, Tigz.
I'm going to go with a draw.
Yeah,
it's
fair
away.
I think 4 points out of them 2 is fair.
That's
Forest and
acceptable.
Swansea. So I think we'll do that. Yeah.
All right. Okay, interesting. Right then. Okay, so back to it. Bristol City at home.
What about Huddersfield?
You've got Huddersfield.
Did we not do that?
Give John Huddersfield away.
Did we not do that?
No, we skipped to the.
Sorry, John. Yeah, my
That's
apologies.
all right.
Huddersfield away.
Well, unless you thought we were going to lose, in which case it doesn't really matter whether we get to the title or not. This is actually looking more and more like possibly the hardest game of March. With they are the only team yet to be beaten in 2022 in the Championship.
Wow.
And they just went to Fulham and beat them 2-1. It was quite backs to the wall in the end, but they still pulled it off. And it's not the team that play with a back three that we have struggled against. But I do think we've got a pretty decent recent record against Huddersfield. Obviously, we've blitzed them at times over the last few seasons that we played them, but this is a very different team. This was a team I thought would finish second from bottom when we started the season. So I am. I'll be a little bit optimistic and say I think we could nick a draw because I'm really not confident we'd win that game at all.
John come in with a stat there about I don't know if you watched the whole show, John, at the start. You said about we need John Spark here for the stats. Yeah. When he comes in with a stat, brilliant. We mentioned you at the start. Yeah, that's class. Go on, Sam.
Okay, well, I'll do Bristol City, and one of our best performances of the season. At the moment in the league, I'm just checking where they are in the league at the moment. 16th on 40 points.
No. One of the poorest teams we played, I thought, actually.
I do think we'll win that. So add 3 points to that.
Okay.
Add 3 points. Tom, West Brom away.
I'm just going to go for a draw. I'm going to go for a, even though I think they're not doing very well, I don't like Brucey and stuff. I can imagine like Andy Carroll getting his head on something. And
you going for a point?
I'm going to go for a point.
Have we not lost a game yet?
No.
With what we've said.
Well, maybe we haven't lost yet. No. I reckon the one after that might be a defeat, though. But
yeah, I agree with you.
I feel bad for Tigz because it's going to be. I think we do one out of West Brom and Sheffield United.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So I think Sheffield United. Then, if we're getting a win at West Brom, unfortunately,
draw at West Brom.
Draw at West Brom. Sorry,
defeat Sheffield United.
Defeat Sheffield United.
Squeaky bum time.
Yeah, and then we're going. Okay, can we do it?
Now we've got to run in.
Yeah. All right. That's fair enough. Middlesbrough. No, sorry, we don't. Middlesbrough at home then, John.
That's another one I think we'd lose. I know it's at home, but the thing is, we've been, we've all been confident and said we're not going to lose for the entirety of March and the game. I'm
glad you said that. Actually,
I think that is very possible that we could go quite well through that. Huddersfield is the one I think is a very decent chance we could lose, but I'd be positive to say a point.
Yeah.
But you look at that run: Sheffield United, West Brom, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, then Coventry, who are a team that you cannot ignore. Then Fulham, and then Blackburn. That is unbelievable bad luck as a run-in for us. So, and Millwall aren't exactly going to be, thrown in the towel either. So it's a hell of an April. I think. I mean, we could get something. We could get something from every game, but that one I wouldn't be surprised if we lost.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right. So
you doing Coventry?
Yeah, Coventry away.
Away.
A draw.
Yeah,
I want to call it a draw. Fulham at home, mate. I'll leave that. Go
It's
on.
not
Then.
looking good.
We're nicking a point at Fulham at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're nicking a point.
Okay.
Blackburn away.
Blackburn away. So
Oh.
look. So the situation here would be this: like, if they've had a really good season,
Yeah,
if
it's
they've
always all
matched our
potential,
form,
isn't it? Yeah.
then there's a point to it. But if they haven't, which I don't think they will,
They're dropping off at the moment.
they're
Yeah, I
dropping
agree.
off, and I think they'll continue to. And I still think they'll be third or fourth, even though they're dropping off.
Yeah.
So I don't think the team in third can catch us at this point. That's my prediction.
Okay.
So I think that it will be 3 points to us.
We'll go there, party time. We'll go there, fancy dress, party time.
Yeah.
Win it 3-0. Oh, can't wait for this.
And then Mr.
And-
Spark.
Yeah.
Finish it off on the pitch
Fulham.
at Millwall.
Oh, Millwall, sorry. Down for them.
Yeah, I think after a series of difficult games with probably hopefully a party atmosphere, I would have thought by that point, particularly if we've managed to beat Blackburn, which I don't think it will, but it could be the game that confirms our second place. As in terms of Blackburn going up against us, I think there'll be other teams that will be trying to get past us by that point. I think Blackburn will drop off they'll be fighting to stay in the playoffs, I think, when they're going up against us. But Millwall, I reckon party atmosphere, I reckon we'll win that one. I reckon it'll be close, but I reckon we will win that one to take that to 3 points.
Interesting. Okay, so Tigz, you've got a figure now. Have you added it to the amount of points we've already got?
Let me add it on.
We've got 58, right?
Well, we've got 58 at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got. So you have got a figure now. What I'm going to do is literally pluck a random season in my head. Now we've got a figure in our head, but let's go on the 2015-16 championship season. So that was the first season when we were out of it.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I will load up the league table. Where we go?
Was that when Burnley?
I think is that when Burnley got promoted?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, I think it might be. I'm going to find it here, and then we'll see whether that would have been enough to get us promoted. I mean, this is poor logic that we're going, but yeah, we've got it in front of us
If it
now.
works, it works. I don't know if it works.
So, Tigz, here's the league table for 2015-16.
Oh, we ain't going to make it.
Burnley on 93, Middlesbrough 89.
Why did you pick this year?
Right, there's no way. Go on. Well, you tell us how many. Tell us how many we got.
85.
85.
I've picked a bad season. I've picked a
terrible season.
I think actually just talking about it generally, though, we spoke about it a little bit tonight. I think this season, I don't know if John agrees, I think that I've said it a lot, Chase Pack, very inconsistent. I think some of the teams mid-table and the teams scrapping at the bottom are able to take points. I actually think 85 could well be enough this season.
Well,
I do.
I
this
genuinely
is the
do.
That's 2 points.
This is the following season. 94 and 93.
Stop looking at previous seasons, all right?
Right, 2017-18.
Oh.
99 and 90. Like 18 and 19.
Oh.
94 and 89. Are we living in cloud cooking?
Here's
No,
the thing. Here's the thing,
The
Sam.
teams behind us.
Sam.
Hey!
Which year do we have to go back to get
Which
promoted?
year is that?
2019-20.
20.
year
Yeah,
ever.
that's the
Best
best
year
year. That's
ever.
the year.
Sam, here's the
Hold
thing:
on.
is that you were looking at the wrong teams. What you should have been looking at was the third place teams,
Yes.
because we don't need to match the teams in second place.
Oh,
We
yeah,
need
of
to beat
course.
the team in third place.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because I'm trying to look for the video, but I can't find it because Benjamin Bloom is very good at keeping an eye on these kinds of things, and he has the stats together. And I think it's about 85, 86
Yeah,
is
and that's
the average you need to get promoted automatically from the championship over the last 10 years. I think that's right. I'd have to find the video again because it was a good few weeks ago that Ben last did a video on that. But yeah, I think bearing in mind we've been a little bit pessimistic on a couple of results, and maybe a little bit over optimistic on a few, but it should balance out. And I think I totally agree with Tom. I think you've got to look at the likes of QPR that are a good side, but they have been dropping points, particularly recently when they shouldn't have done. Weirdly, when they've had some of their better players come back from African Cup of Nations. And then Middlesbrough, they managed to lose recently, playing terribly in their most recent game, which I wasn't expecting because I think they are a really strong side. Nottingham Forest are probably the biggest ones that we are going to be concerned about. They're firing forward. Sheffield United, but they're all capable of losing. So, we're in a good spot at the moment and we've got games in hand. So, with this, it could well be touch and go. it's going to be a very tough April. It's going to be very squeaky bum time April probably, but I'm still confident we can get there.
If we take our points that we came up with you, John, and we divide that by 46, it was 1.8 points per game. Now, if we just look at the league table at the moment and we take those 58 and we divide them by 30, actually our average has been 1.9 points per game. So we have been pessimistic, if you look at the way the season's gone so far. So yeah, I think we do it.
Wow, love it. Well, you know what? That's left me feeling a hell of a lot better, I've got to say. John, thank you for coming on tonight.
John.
Really appreciate it, mate.
No problem. Thanks for having me on again, guys.
Cheers.
We'll see you, mate.
Thank you
Cheers.
very much. It's our brand new setup. At some point, we'll learn how to actually use it and press the right buttons here. This is what we're doing now. Multiple angles. What's going on? It's really weird. Do you think Tom looks better like that or like that? I think he looks better like that. I don't know.
Tommy, the tarantula, gladiator name, because I'm small. Yeah, tarantula.
Yeah,
but I'm never legless. There you go.
Okay,
like
very
ironic.
good, very good.
Tigz, you got a gladiator name?
Oh, it's got to be Tiger.
It's got to be Tiger. That's why I didn't do Tiger. Yeah.
It's got to be a Tiger.
Sam the seagull, or what is
Sam the seagull.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of something else.
I've got no idea. What do you?
Sam,
I'd like to be.
I don't think Sam would be an object. Now, I think Sam would be an adjective.
Why does that have to be like?
Magnificent.
It doesn't have to be. Yeah,
exactly. It doesn't have to be alliteration, does it?
No.
You know what? Like fantastic, I'd be called because that's the word I always seem to use on these bloody pods. Like I don't even realise it. Or interesting.
Interesting. That's good. But do you know what is interesting? We've completely forgotten about the audience. So let's go back to them.
Oh, it's nearly 2 hours, isn't it?
It is. It's been a long time. Terribly sorry.
Thanks for joining us, though.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And look, that shirt, that scarf that's behind Tom, if you want to get one, just become a monthly donator to the channel and then you'll be in the draw. It's afcbpodcast.com/coffee. And thank you to everyone that does that because we truly appreciate it. We wouldn't be able to do shows like this. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of resources. Also costs money with our streaming provider. Even the vlogs we do, we pay a monthly subscription for the music we use. We buy new equipment all the time. We did lapel mics in the previous show. We bought that bad boy, so which means we're now in debt at the moment. Hopefully we'll claw that back. But every little truly helps. We do it because we love AFC Bournemouth, don't we, mate?
We love it. We do it for all. No, we do it. We love it. But yeah, we really appreciate any support that any of you can do, and we've got a great little fan base, haven't we? Yeah, really supportive. So yeah, we do really appreciate it.
Thanks very much for tuning in, Tigz. It's been an absolute blast.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. Really enjoyed doing this. Really missed football. So this is the nearest I get to it. So loved it. And love all you out there. And if there is any suggestions that you might have for us and things you'd like to see, please let us know because we're always scratching around for ideas.
Especially when we keep getting games called off for the Storm. So yeah, definitely more feedback. But yeah, no, I've loved it, mate. Nice to have a little nat on it.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And these are the legends coming up that are helping to keep this channel going. Thank you to all of you. Up the Cherries. Good night.